gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
David, oh David. Welcome to this edition of the X-Fan Show. This is our emergency show, folks. A-Train, Arlington Lane. If you haven't noticed, David, we're talking to you too, sir. We're talking to you as well. The fantasy has now become reality. The fantasy has now become reality. If you haven't noticed, folks, it's here. It's here, and the merger is going to happen. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Something just happened. See what happens when you do emergency shows and things like that. Goodness gracious. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hey, if you haven't noticed, the XFL and USFL has fully intend to merge. They had dropped out their press release on today. Not details are coming to follow, but they wanted everybody to know that it was official and it's going to happen. All right. So now the big case is what's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen at this rate in the game? All right. So it's going to be a lot of wide speculations. Is going to happen between now and the time that more details that do come to follow, for sure. But here's the thing. What are we looking forward to seeing come in this new incarnation with these two groups? Are we going to have a different name? I know if you saw yesterday, they had put out that USFL Enterprises got the trademark for NSFL, National Spring Football League. Now, a lot of people have touched on it. One of the things that I wanted to see was and another thing, before I even go any further, I just want to go on the record on this show and say that I was right. I want to say I was right because Dany Garcia, if you follow her on Instagram, if you look through her stories, you'll see that she was a part of that announcement. And remember, we talked about these bounce back emails, and shout out to XFL News Hub for mentioning what was said on the show. Shout out to Mark Perry. He mentioned about the bounce back emails because there were bounce back emails. But my thing was, I believe that Dany was never leaving. I thought that she was literally going to switch over to this new regime and potentially have a different email. So removing her from the XFL.com emails was what was needed. So, yeah, and I understand, Jacob, as long as the Sea Dragons are still there, people will be happy. I was floored that I received a message today. Like I literally got one 40 some odd minutes ago. And soon as I got it, I try to post it out as quickly as possible. Because the full intent to merge, yeah, see, it is now if you follow if you're on the Discords, I would suggest that you get to a Pro Football Newsroom. Yeah, I know, Javier, but it's happening. You got to understand the strongest teams in this mix. Strongest teams in this mix are probably going to be the ones that that wind up in this new combined league. I know I didn't want this yet because we were sitting back and I'm like, we need at least a year, 2 years of this league. I actually wanted 5. I wanted 5 years before this jumped off into anything beyond that, or 3 at the most. So that way there'd be some consistency as it was going on. But yeah, I know a lot of people feel like the same. They really feel like, I hope it's not hub cities in this case. They're really pushing toward that because it believes it's going to the expenses won't be as large, and I don't like it either. I'd rather there be an owner in each city, or they be in every city, so that way it gets the maximum amount for fans to come out and support their city and their team. Yeah, that's true, and there's no need to start rumors and speculation at this point. We gotta, as always, you just gotta see it through. But it's always fun to see what kind of what type of fantasy league you would like to see. I know we won't get it, but that's the point. Well, he said no reason to turn off the email, right? But at this point, what's the point of using it if she's not going to use it at this rate? You might as well go ahead and switch off. Just that simple. Let's see. XFL model was a good compromise. Training base in a hub that play in a home market. I would suggest that, or at least have a second hub if they're adding more teams, which is more than likely is what's going to happen. You have 2 hubs and 12, and you can do it in the same state. That way it can keep costs down. And then they fly out to their different games. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Herb says, as long as we are playing in the Alamo Dome, all right, got season tickets already. I think San Antonio is still going to remain in this. The Texas teams, the biggest drawback right now is what Houston is going to look like. Like, who's the Houston team? Because they're saying it's going to be 1, not 2. And I understand that. You don't need to put 2 Houston teams there. Now, if the league was somewhere close to what the NFL is like, then I understand that. But in this case here, no, you don't need 2 Houston teams. I would love to see the Roughnecks remain. A lot of people saying the Gamblers are going to be the team. But it's like, how would you have that? And the Gamblers didn't really have a fan base with the USFL season. Now, here's the thing. I would believe the Birmingham Stallions will be a part of this. I would love to see the other strong team. Got to have Philly in it. Got to have Jersey. Got to have those East Coast teams in there. It just makes it. I think it just makes it a bigger draw. You know what I mean? The biggest question I'm getting from people after the news is announced is when they'll play. That's going to be the key here. That's going to be the key. This is my opinion. I told you everything is going to be speculation, just opinion, and not fact. I would love to see both the XFL and USFL play around the same time, and then XFL and USFL play in a championship game, at the end of the season, because there is going to be a big chance for a lot of games to be played across television and streaming, right? And so remember, of course, you have ABC, ESPN, FX with the XFL, and then with USA, NBC, and Fox, of course, FS1 and FS2 for the USFL. So you'll have a lot of areas, a lot of places where they can play games. So I don't see how that could be a problem when it comes to doing that. throughout the season. Now the time slots, that's what's going to be the big draw. Like, where are they going to play? And like, are you going to go back and forth? They're going to try their best not to do that if they choose to do that. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of areas where they can, play games at this point. They have a lot of networks that they can run with. It'd be stupid to walk away from DC, even though they play in the MLS stadium. Word is the USFL disfavors them. DC got to be a strong add to this merger. You can't get rid of the beer snake. You know what I mean? It was very popular. It was popular 2020, and it's going to be popular. It was popular again in 2023. So I wouldn't mind seeing that return, because it was, the fans were a big aspect to what was going on in DC. I would like if they would have 2 practice hubs and play at their home games. I agree. I definitely agree with that. There's if you're going to have somewhere in between the number of 10 to 14 teams, you can definitely get 2 hubs. 10 hubs, 10 teams, maybe you can still do 1 hub, but anything beyond 10, you got to have 2 hubs. Because you want to make sure that you can house all the players, and you want to make sure you can house all your teams. For sure. 20,000 in a soccer stadium full is way better than 10,000 empty looking football field. Yeah, that's true. And DC surely proved that this past year. They had great crowds for all 5 home games. They were all on Sundays, mind you. And that beer snake was a force to be reckoned with, for sure. And got Mickey on Twitch saying hello. I say, with Houston have 1 team and have other team colors. Okay. Ray says also April would make sense to start the opening day of this new league instead of February. I disagree with that, because if you start in February, you got to remember it gets hot in many of these cities. And starting to, I know you want to do it actual spring league, but February would make the most sense for the simple fact of, and I see that Dirty, who is on his way. He didn't know I was gonna throw up the show so quick, so he'll be here in a moment. April, I get it because it's spring, but February would make sense going to at least May, especially if you're going past 10 teams at this rate, right? So anything past that, you got to start it earlier. March the latest, because it may start getting a little warmer. February, be like, it's kind of cold still. In most of these markets, you might be for that, but got to remember, football is a cooler sport. You don't want it too hot, because in Orlando, they had to deal with hot weathers through April and May throughout the season, and so it got difficult. So I think you have to start it a bit earlier. Hey, everyone, they may not get rid of any team, just move a few. We'll see. Yeah, exactly. We'll definitely see what happens. Is this a question towards fantasy football? I don't have that right now. Yes, I understand that. That's what the point of streaming. That's where streaming comes into play, though. If some of y'all don't have cable. Also, remember that they are on regular TV too. So that's where, like I said, streaming comes into play for this. It's going to be huge. And me personally, when you have a network like Fox that now owns a streaming site like Tubi, I would want to put my games there as well. I want to maximize my audience as best as possible. Best as possible. Standing outside at the Battledome at 8 a.m. in February is damn cold. Yes, I understand. I got it. Now, I will say the last time that I did it back in 2020, we were fortunate, very fortunate, that 3rd week of February, it was relatively warm that day, like high 60s, early 70s, not any rain in sight. And the weather was just beautiful. And it was just like a perfect day to go out and tailgate, have a good time, and celebrate the return of St. Louis football. that was like an amazing day all by itself. So you've been fortunate. I did not get a chance to go to any St. Louis games because I was covering for Houston, and every single week, I think the first week in Houston, that first home game, it was the coldest. After that, every other game was warm. And so it was actually kind of interesting how that one played out for the Houston Roughnecks. I think Ray was kind of talking about my hub stuff, and they said, all right, true. You see the effect hot weather play in Miami with the NFL. Yes, but it will get cooler as the season progresses, and especially when you're in warmer climates such as a Tampa or a Miami, it's going to stay relatively warm. That's why Houston playing in a dome now. So that is a slight drawback when you have warmer climates when you're playing football in those particular cities. I would put a bye week in the first week of March Madness. Now, if they choose to do a bye week, then yeah, I understand that. I do. Like they need a break, or a team gets week 4, week 5, week 6, depending on how many weeks they decide to do. At least get them one bye week, give them a week of rest to recoup and get ready to handle it again the following week. They could easily set it up to where both the USFL teams and XFL teams play their season out, and once a champion is crowned, then the XFL champion, USFL champion play each other. Then in 2025, do a full merger of the schedule, teams play each other. If anyone noticed, when the schedule was released, there were 6 days for home games, 6 days for away games. It's crazy to think that they do a semi-merge this season and fully merge in 2025. They have the USFL and XFL play 1 home and 2 away. That definitely was a mouthful, but also I think with that, I would not mind seeing that happen. Like you gotta have a week where, I mean, you gotta have a season first. You gotta have give me another XFL season before y'all decide to just fully merge off, because then we have something to look forward to when the full merger happens. You got to have something to look forward to when the full merger happens. Like USFL will be going into season 3, and the XFL will be going into season 2. You don't need to rush things. I know there are people, spring football communities wanting to see it happen later. Excuse me, but there are others that they think it's going to happen sooner, and sooner just seems rushed. And you look back at the years of old with the USFL, the XFL back in the 2001, what happened with the AAF, especially the USFL back in the 80s. You looked at how greedy they were trying to get. Well, they say one person, but the greed that was in it, and they wanted to compete against the NFL, and it should never be a competition against the NFL in the first place. Is basically making spring football a special football league. It should easily be special, no question. And I know a lot of people want to get to the next level, but I want to see a spring football get a similar aspect that the NFL can get. I know it's few and far between. It's a hard road to do because spring football is so hard to maintain. It's hard. Go some of these comments. You say it meant 1 home game and 1 away game against each other. Okay, I understand that. Give like a preview of sorts. I think the XFL and USFL play separate schedules for at least 2 years and then begin a merged league in 2026. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Is that my man? I think he's coming in now. Finally, he got to his destination. Let's see if we can hear him. Hello, sir. No, he don't want to come on.
No, I'm coming on.
Nobody
I'm coming on. Hi, buddy.
There he is.
Hi, buddy.
What's going on, man? I had to hold the fort down, bro. I had to hold the fort down for 20 minutes. Why?
Well, look, I was gonna try to get on. I was out working, and then Verizon, for some reason, decided to take away my internet, so I couldn't. So I had to come all the way back home to get home for this show.
Exactly. I see.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what you've been talking about because I couldn't watch the show because I had no damn internet service.
Basically, what I've been discussing right now is what a potential merger could look like.
Okay.
It's now that it's the full intent and that's officially been said by the XFL.
Oops. Has somebody's
David,
somebody's fantasy become reality and that we're liars?
I told David, I said, David, your fantasy just became reality. Something that you said is going to sound stupid.
It said that Axios was fake news and all that stuff. And, Axios is considered the biggest, largest.
For business.
No, wait. So I just get online and we announced it 48 minutes ago. We have the press release from the XFL merger and the USFL, right? And he says, this is a fantasy press release that is faker than fake merger story from Axios.
Wow. Like he's that delusional. That dude is delusional, man.
Listen, all that tells me is that
he's a straight delusional guy. Or he's just trolling at this point.
Or he's something else. I don't know. But anyways, besides the point.
Are you serious?
Listen, like my phone yesterday was completely blowing up. Thanks to Mark Perry over at News. What is that one? Newsroom. News Hub. Yeah, that's right. Because we are proud members now.
Newsroom, exactly.
We're proud working members of Newsroom, a great organization. Great organization. But he gave us credit yesterday. Said that his friends at the X-Fan show, we were the ones that broke the story about Danny and the Dwayne's emails bouncing back. Well,
I want your apology.
Apology for what?
Because I was right about it and you were wrong. No, admit you were wrong.
Hold on. I never said they were leaving.
You were
never
wrong.
said they were leaving. I just said their emails bounced back. That's all I said.
No, but you said that they were done. You think that they would be done.
No.
You thought that.
I never said that. I never said that live on air. Never said that live on air. All fair, yes. On air, no. Never said it.
It's time for them to come on back.
Right. But anyways, so now we know why this big burger of nothing turned into a big burger.
Nothing burger. I love it.
of this big
nothing burger
turned into a big Whataburger because now we know why their emails have bounced back because of this merger. Because look, if you're the chairperson and the spokesperson of the XFL, of course, if you're going to be now, it explains a lot. If you're going to be part of this new league, which you're right, Arlington. Privately, I did say I think they're gone. You're right. I did say that. But I never said it on air until just now. But anyways, you love how I backpedal, right? But anyways, back to what I was saying. Oh, yeah, he is. Yes, you are right. David, listen, I got to give David a lot of credit.
Well, he's going
down. Like I've never seen. Like I've done some doubling down, Arlington, on this show. But David, props, bro. Props.
Hey, he does not believe it one freaking bit. Nope.
No.
Not at all.
David is, you are the man. You are the man, bro. Keep believing what you believe, baby.
Hey, stay to it. Stay till the Titanic goes down,
That's
baby.
Right. Play the instruments to
the end, baby.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure with you, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.
Play that violin and play that cello until the last inch of that cold water hits your midsection, bro.
It's a pleasure.
Playing it up.
He's
playing it up. Just like the 60 cases. Just like the 60 cases was all fucking fantasy.
Woo! Oh my God.
Back to what we're saying. Look. Arlington, everybody has talked about this merger or expansion or whatever, right?
Yes.
We had said we don't see it happening at least till year 4 or 5 for either one of these two leagues.
Shout out to Los Mysterio, by the way, too.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah. Los Mysterio, JT. JT might be a little crazy, but he had talked about it, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit crazy.
And right now, they're not going to say anything about teams and divisions just yet. Just know that I got an official press release. We got an official press release.
Hold on, Arlington. Remember, we got a fantasy.
Oh, the fantasy. Release. Okay, we got the fantasy release.
Right.
Excuse me.
But
it's nothing but pure fantasy. Got it. My bad.
It's just nothing but pure fantasy, like this show. We talk about nothing but fake stuff on this show all the time.
Because when are the showcases gonna happen? When are the draft is gonna happen? Well, a lot of that seems like that's gonna be pushed back.
So that's the question. I know that the big news broke when they put out the nugget for the video saying that the draft was going to be October 4th. Well, now, are we going to get an October 4th draft? Arlington, one thing we do know for sure. On October 7th, the X-Fan Legion and B-Hog Live will be presenting a very big check at the Autism Walk. I do know that. That ain't fantasy. That's truth.
That's reality, sir.
And I do know January 13th at R&R Sports Bar on 1840 Baker Cypress in Houston, Texas.
Barker Cypress.
Okay, Barker Cypress, whatever. I do know on January 13th, there's going to be a big event. More details to come.
For spring football fans, it's going down, y'all. So listen, it's going down here in H-Town. So
that is right. That's where we're doing the next one, raising money for the Houston Women's Area Shelter. So come out, please join us. All that stuff. More details to come.
That's our announcement. That's our press. You get an official press release here.
That's official. That's not fantasy. Unlike this merger that was released by XFL and USFL today. But that's fantasy. That's fantasy. That's right, because Dwayne and The Rock live in Hollywood. So they're fantasy. You're right. You definitely cannot polish a turd. You're definitely right.
You gotta make do what you do, though. You have to make do with that, because they're not going to do anything, at least for right now.
Correct.
For another venue, so you gotta polish what you have, man.
Now let's really dive into this merger. Like I did see on Facebook somewhere. Let me see if I can find it, Arlington. Because I had to drive all the way home because Verizon's terrible, and they wouldn't give me my 5G, or I'd been on location.
See, and that's what I believe right here from David. I know a lot of people saying 2024. Yeah. Especially, I think you said it. That 2024 was going to change. There's going to be a change of events for the season. You got to go as business as usual, because you got to remember you're setting everything up for it, right? And I said earlier on in the show, when they do actually merge, I think they should do a bit of the NFL and AFL type of deal and do XFL, USFL, and they play throughout the season on different networks.
Right.
You know
what I mean?
So
that's funny that you say that, because here's what I found, and this is from a fan of ours here in St. Louis. Marcus Stamp says the USFL and XFL merger, rebrand the league, the Ultimate Football League. Well, we know that the league is now going to be called the National Spring Football League, right?
At least we don't know yet. It has not been made official, but we know that the trademarks have been that USFL Enterprises got the trademarks. We know that.
And I actually like some of this stuff in here, so let's go over. So this is something how it could look. Not saying this is how. Now listen. Now, David, we're gonna play.
We got to do that on another show. We have to do this. What you're about to do, we have to do that on another show.
Well, I don't want to lose it, so that's why I'm doing it. David, don't worry. This is just fantasy. This is just coming from the fantasy of a fan. So don't worry. I don't know if this is true, but we'll just go over it real quick. Field of play 110 yards, width 50 yards, end zone's 15 yards. He's saying goalposts in the front of the end zone, number of players 12.
You doing CFL stuff?
Well, I don't know. He says 4 downs, scoring XFL 6-1, 6-1 at the 2.
Oh, the 1, 2, 3 point system.
Yep, at the 5. No extra kick. No kickers for extra points. Field goals 3, safeties 2, rogues 1. Kickoff rules or kickoff formation, XFL rules, replays, press box plus coaches challenge, head coaches, all calls, including the following. Now, look, that is good. So if you guys really want to go it is on. You can find it on diehard XFL fans right there. You can see it. The XFL Battlehawk fans for life. You can go there and find it. I mean, I like some of that stuff, Arlington, but it's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay. Some of the stuff I like. But look, with this merger, it opens up a lot of stuff, right? We've heard rumors from 10 to 12 to 14, right?
The teams, yeah.
Right. Before we started the show, I reached out to some connections. Some of the people that I know within the XFL, they say, yes, we are safe. You know what I mean? So look, like right here, this is smart right here, like what Jersey says right here. Again, when season tickets were announced, 6 home games and 6 away games. Again, they may have 1 home and 1 away interleague games. So now look, here's how it could work. You could do divisions. You could do a USFL division and an XFL division.
Absolutely. I don't
do that
one bit.
You could do that. Now, do I think that that's the way it should go? No. I think they should do actual legit divisions and merge both teams. That this is a merger.
So you saying you want one big, like if you look at the standings, you want one big list, is what you're telling me. And then the best of the best is what goes to the playoffs, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, but now look, if it would be smart, okay, yeah, like right here, like an AFC and an NFC. Yeah, I don't think listen, Jersey. I think we are months behind schedule, is what they've been releasing to fans. I think we are months behind schedule.
From what the public knows.
From what
they've been ahead of everything. They've been knowing what's going to happen. They know what's going to happen before we do. So, because they want to make sure that their ducks are in a row. So that way, when they announce it, it'll be, oh, damn, I didn't know they was going to do it like this. And oh my God. Oh, this actually might work. Something like that.
So like we know, Arlington, before you can actually really file a trademark on a merger, you have to start going through regulatory, and regulatory starts tweaking what they want to do and what difference they want, right? Listen, Elizabeth, you could say that, but here's the thing. And I know that, we harped on it. We said it wasn't really a big deal about the money being lost with the XFL. But listen, Redbird Capital is an investment company. They lost a lot of money. They probably lost more money than we thought they lost, than that $60 million. Look, if you guys want these leagues to survive, again, I will say it, and I've always said it. Even when this, now, hell, Arlington, it looks like we're going to change the name of the show.
Maybe.
We might, or we just might just say, screw it, leave it as the X Fan Show. Who really knows? You never know, because we X out all the other video casts. That's how there is to it. But I will still say this to the day I die, or until the day these 2 leagues die. It's not one team. It is not one team. Exactly, Aaron. Exactly. Merging now means consolidating of assets and trimming overlap to save money as quickly as possible. You're absolutely correct. And again, Arlington, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it again because I said it last night on B-Hawk Live. You want this league to survive. This isn't just about supporting the Battlehawks, the Brahmas, the Stallions. This is about supporting the entire league. The entire league. I'm saying everybody should buy merchandise from every single team. I don't care if it's a hat. I don't care if it's a keychain, whatever. But you need to buy something from every team because you just can't have one team sustain. And that is the problem.
Until they remove themselves as a single entity league, because that's what this is at this rate. And they decide to get owners, individual owners. That way it can be devoted to one particular city, and then you can talk all weird trash and whatever. I mean, you're gonna do it anyway. But my point is, until that happens, you got to support the league so to make sure they can sustain and it can keep
Brian,
rolling.
get over it because it's gonna happen. They're playing in a hub city. They're having 6 hub cities. So again, if that's what's gonna make you get out of it, then were you really truly a fan? No offense, Brian. I love you. I love Reels and Heels. Go check them out. But if you're a real fan and your city's out it and they do the hub city for the first year, then were you truly a fan? No, you truly weren't a fan.
But my thing, and to Brian's effect, I sympathize where he's coming from. Like, I want to see my team. I want to see my team in my city. If it's in my city, I want to see
it. But let's look at where it's at. Your team, the Roughnecks, was based out of Arlington. St. Louis Battlehawks, based out of Arlington. San Antonio Brahmas, based out of Arlington. Seattle Dragons, based out of Seattle, Arlington. The DC Defenders, based out of Arlington. Orlando Guardians, based out of Arlington. What did they do? They only played in their home cities. So they really never had a connection. Every team, you heard when we had Trey Watson on the show, that it never really felt like a home game for any of these guys. Like he said, that within the league, everybody wanted to come to St. Louis and play because it was in front of a big crowd. It's the same with the USFL. Guys wanted to play in Birmingham because of the big crowd and play against Birmingham. Okay?
So that means. But
Elizabeth, you live in San Antonio. If let's say that they do the hub, they say they do the Brahmas hub in Arlington. It's a 5-hour drive. You can drive up there. It's a 5-hour drive. I can tell you this. If Memphis is a hub and it's on a weekend that the Battlehawks are gone, guess what my ass is doing? I'm driving down to Memphis because it's only a 4.5-hour drive.
Are you going to do it every single time, though?
Yeah. If the Battlehawks aren't in town, I will go. Let's say this. If it's a Memphis game on a Saturday, I'll drive down Saturday morning.
I mean,
I will. See, Champ lives 3 hours from Birmingham. I'll drive down on a Saturday morning, watch a game.
He's right. To drive another city with a family of 5, it costs. It costs a lot.
It costs gas.
No. That's food and lodging too. If they want to make a weekend of it,
all right. So here, okay, I'm not saying it's a weekend. Like you really gonna sit there dirty? You would sit there right now, take your 3 sons and your girl, and you go down, and you're gonna go down to Memphis, right? And you're gonna do this every single weekend. You're gonna just do a day of it and then come back? Yes.
You know there's gonna be one, they're gonna want more to do.
Too bad. That's what I'm going down there for. They don't like it, they do it themselves. It's that simple. I want the league to survive. I want it to survive.
There's going to be more appeal than just the game, dude. Is what I'm
saying. Look, like Aaron says right here. He says, "No way, I'm driving to Memphis every week to see my Battlehawks." That's not what I said. That is not what I said.
But what if they do have to play in that? What if they do have to play in that particular hub? I know.
Then I'll drive to Memphis. It's a 4-hour drive. I'll drive to support my team, to support this league.
What about those that can't?
Watch it on TV then. Buy the merchandise.
But they want to be there to support too.
I get that you want to be there. Listen, I get that you want to be there. I get it. You know, see, like right here, look. He says, I'm nowhere near any of these hubs. This sucks. We don't even know if there are going to be hubs.
But my thing is, if there are the hubs, it's going to be harder for fans that want to support the league. Nobody just want to sit there and watch empty stadiums all the time, man. Nobody want to do that.
Look, I'm hoping, Aaron, they have separate divisions. I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they do have separate divisions and stuff like that. Okay? I'm hoping that they do. I'm hoping that they have, like the NFL, 2 conferences, an XFL and a USFL conference. And then the best teams, the best 4 teams in those conferences do the playoff system. I mean, think of the possibilities we could get here with the merger.
Yeah, and talking about
Right,
hubs.
listen, Elizabeth, I'm hoping there is no hub, but rumors have it there's going to be 6 hubs, and then they're going to play in their home cities. That's the thing. That's the rumors.
Why would you have so many hubs?
Well, because it would okay. So if you think about it, if you do hubs in strategically placed places, you can cut. You can, huh?
You need to do 6 of them. You can't do 2.
I mean, I guess you could.
And then you have somewhere between 5 and 7 teams for each.
Look, I agree. Look, I agree with both of you right here. They need the 2 hubs for training and playing in respective cities. I want them to play in their respective cities. But here's what it is. If they don't for year 1, I'm not going to be mad. I will do everything in my power to support this league.
And the main thing here for this new merger is marketing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest ploy here. If the marketing isn't great, who's going to want to watch this product? Who's going to want to support the product? That's got to be a main thing here. Marketing.
Jersey, I think you got this the wrong way. Marketing. This wasn't the USFL reaching out to the XFL.
It don't even matter. It don't even
matter now because it's done.
It don't matter. It don't even matter. And the reason this was the case, why did they need to market St. Louis when they knew St. Louis was going to come out anyway? They were coming out anyway.
Right. I agree. Like, look, here's what I'm saying. Exactly this. This is what I keep saying is I think we need to clarify hubs. If hubs means what the XFL did this year, that's one thing I don't have an issue. But teams should play home games in their home markets. I agree they should. I agree they should. I think they should play in their home markets. I'm not saying we don't know what the hubs are. We don't even know what this merger's meaning for anything, is what we're saying. You can see all the rumors you want, that they got the 6 hub markets that they're going to use and all of that stuff. You know, James Larson's did a big thing, you know, from Newsroom.
Please don't mess them up.
I did say Newsroom. James Larson did a thing saying that they're going to do the 6 hubs, and it's going to be, you know,
that's what's rumored, man, and thinking that on what he's heard. So at the same rate, it still needs to be marketing. That is the big ploy here. I don't like when whatever the name of this league is going to be, market it.
I agree.
Every city. That even means the local markets that don't give a damn about it. And they just sitting there and just want to toss it in the trash like it's nothing. Because St. Louis, the reason, and here's I have to mention St. Louis for this reason. TV market wise, they had no local affiliate for news, a news affiliate that can work with the Battlehawks. So that means, of course, Channel 5, Channel 4, and Channel 2 to work with it because they have no football team. They had to cover it. Now, here in Houston, the affiliate was ABC 13 because they play the games on that particular station. They had one representative, but they had somebody. They would not show it on the other stations because they were not a part of the XFL network.
Again, hold on. The USFL. Listen. The USFL.
No, he said basically saying they agreed. They just agreed to it.
No. What happened was the XFL reached out to the USFL because they were in trouble. The XFL was in trouble. Okay, they were, and you know it. So don't sit here and lie, because now we can talk about it. We know that it was that the XFL was in trouble, because we know that Redbird Capital, literally the day after the championship game, reached out to the USFL to talk the merger talk started. So you know that, Arlington. We've got our sources that have told us that, right? This ain't the USFL reaching out to the XFL. If you go back and you listen again, I'll thank Mark Perry. You go back and you listen, Disney wants to get rid of ESPN. Disney cut ties with The Rock. You're a sports investment firm and you just lost your TV partner. What are you going to do? And that's exactly what happened.
They just that is
always
solo individual.
Listen, there's always smoke. There's always fire to the smoke, Arlington. We've proven that hundreds of times on this show. Have we not? Have we not?
Yeah.
We've proven that 100 times. You guys got to realize, as much as we want to say it, as much as the XFL fans want to say it, the XFL lost. Because they are basically, this isn't really like a merger. This is an absorption of the XFL into the USFL. Whether you want to believe it or not.
If that was the case, they might as well call everything the USFL at this point.
That's true, but I think that might have had something to do with regulatory and all of that stuff. Right there. There you go. Also, you just said it. I'm for spring football. I agree that I think it would be a little sucky if we do games after June 1st in certain cities. Like, look, let's get it right. Let's get it right. Yes, you are right. You are absolutely right. Unknown is always a bit nerve-wracking. Rampant speculation doesn't help. Although we are literally watching live rampant speculation right now. Question is, Aaron, are you really? Are you really? Are you really watching rampant speculation right now? That's the question. Because here's why. The USFL had a model. They had a model. That's why the USFL turned money in their second year. Because of their hub formats. Regardless of what you want to say. You go back and you look at it. You can see the writing on the wall. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. So I'm saying, is this really rampant speculation that you're watching? Yes, my mug is absolutely on your screen. It is. It is. No, Jersey. Send Jersey a link, Arlington. Send Jersey a link. Jersey, I get what you're saying, bro. I've had private conversations with you and I've told you things. I get what you're saying. Whether you guys want to believe it or not, I hate to say it. I am the hugest XFL fan. I've been the XFL fan since 2001. I have beat the drum. This show and me and Arlington, B-Hawk Live, the X-Fan Legion, we have beat the drum for the XFL for 5 years. 5 years. Unfortunately, I can accept when my league lost. However you want to say it, our league reached out to the USFL. It wasn't the USFL reaching out to our league. They reached out. We reached out to them because we needed the help. We needed the help. But John, how much money did they really lose? Yes, they just moved it into their business expense. So did they really lose money? You move it into a business expense. Do you really lose money? You don't. That's why it's an LLC. So did you send Jersey the link? Yeah. That's all I'm saying. There's going to be changes in this new merger.
About the loss of money. You have to spend money to make money, right?
Nothing is going to happen with the people that have tickets in St. Louis. Here's what I'm telling you. St. Louis is more than likely going to be one of the hub cities.
You have to spend money to make money, right? You can't be frugal for real with what you have here, right?
Yeah, Aaron. See, like right here, Aaron says, I'm a fan of the STL. I root for the XFL to succeed to keep my team alive. I don't care what league technically they play in or what it's called or who they play. If I get to party with my 40,000 friends at the Battle Dome. There you go. See, that's what it is. But Aaron, here's what I'm telling you. You want this league to succeed even further, you have to support the other teams. All right, here he goes. I love the guy. I'm going
to let the both of you talk because this ought to be good. I don't need to be in this conversation.
What's up, Jersey? I love
you,
buddy.
Guys?
What's up? What's up, pal?
What's going on, man? Listen,
I love you, buddy.
what I'm saying is this. I'm not saying that the USFL reached out to the XFL. I know that. Of course I know that. What I'm saying is the fact that the XFL was able to get fields for all their respective teams to play in their respective cities, that could have been an enticing factor when they reached out to the USFL. That could have been something that enticed the USFL, like, maybe they could help us get fields for our teams, and we keep this league big, 12 to 16 teams, instead of cutting teams out. That's all I'm saying. It could have been an enticing factor for the USFL to agree to merge. I'm not saying that the USFL reached out to the XFL in no way, shape, or form. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that could have been an enticing factor because that played a big part in this merge. Whether you want to believe it or not, them not having fields for their teams played a big part in this merge. The XFL having fields for their teams played a big part in this merge because the USFL sat back and said, damn, you guys were able to do that, and we're in our second year, and we weren't able to do that.
Yeah,
that could help us. So let's merge.
Right.
And when it comes to my theory of the 6 home games, 6 away games, I believe the merge was already set up a long time ago. I believe that they're going to go into this season. This is why they're saying, the merge can be done as quickly as 2024 season, because they already may have the plan to have the XFL and the USFL play each other in 1 home game and 1 away game. There is no reason to sit here and have an 8-team league go into their second season with a longer schedule for the regular season. Just makes no sense. What are you going to have 6 home games and 6 away games for if you're not planning on merging or expanding with 2 more teams? It just doesn't make any sense.
See, and there you
go. So all this was the breadcrumbs were there. The trail was there for us.
You just had to follow.
You just had to pay attention and follow. Because what type of sense does that make? They made a huge announcement. 8-1. 8-1. 8-1. Every team came out with a video. 8-1. Get ready for it. 8-1. And we're like, what can 8-1 be? What can 8-1 be? Dummies, they're merging. And I said that this was going to happen. A revamp. After the revamp, the third revamp, after the first season of this revamp, they're going to merge with the USFL. No, they're not, Jersey. You're tripping. The merge isn't going to happen for 3 to 5 years. Isn't that what you told me, Dirty? The merge isn't going to happen for 3 to 5 years. Everybody was saying that.
That is true.
Was saying that to me.
And what are you laughing? Hold on, Jersey. Hold on. What are you laughing about? What are you laughing about? You said the exact same thing.
The reason why I was going with that route because of the landscape of everything.
Right. And that's the reason why. That's the reason why.
But I said it because I knew that the USFL and the XFL were not going to last on their own. I knew this ahead of time.
Brian,
I knew this.
Brian, it's all over Facebook. It's been all over Facebook for months that they were talking about.
If you're a season ticket holder,
yeah.
If you're a season ticket holder, you should see
that's why ticket prices went up.
6 home games and 6 away games.
Yeah,
that's exactly why the prices went up.
Because you pay for an extra
if you notice, everybody was talking about, hey, they're talking about a 7th game being in St. Louis. What for? An NSFL championship game.
So look,
there's no other reason to make 2020 or to ask for 22 trademark rights to NSFL. There's no reason to do that unless what?
There's something up.
Name of this league.
Exactly. And I mean, here's
Fox already owns it. Fox already owns it. They had this all. Look, they had this all in the working for months, you guys. They had this in the workings for months. For months.
But see, that's
Believe
exactly
us
what
when
we're
we're telling
saying,
you.
Jersey. That's the
Since
reason why
the
we were
day
saying.
after the XFL championship game, all throughout the rest of the USFL season, the big heads they knew what they were doing. That's why they weren't tripping off of people being in the stands.
Hey, you preaching
We're
to the
gonna be
choir,
merging
man.
next season. We're gonna be merging next season. We're not worried about the people of audience being in the stands, because watch what we do next season. Watch how we bust your heads with this surprise during the offseason. We're gonna let you guys speculate and speculate and speculate, and then bam. And now look where we're at today. September what?
Here's the
28th,
question, Jersey.
2023. Just saying.
Here's the question: Have we really been speculating this whole time on this show?
No,
That's the question.
dirty speculations have all become, prophesized.
Don't give him hey, don't make his head bigger than it is now, man. Like, damn.
Hey, Trey, he's been saying a lot of things that have been coming into fruition.
Yeah,
right or wrong.
yeah,
You got to give him that credit. I'm just saying. I
know.
don't want to. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying the breadcrumbs have been there. The trail has been there. You just had to follow it. And guys like us who do this for damn near a living, you could say, we know what the hell we're talking about. We don't have these shows for no reason. We're not saying the things that we're saying for no reason. You just got to follow the breadcrumbs. Follow the trail. It's going to lead you where you got to go. And if you don't believe that the prices went up because of them adding more games, something wrong with you.
Oh, here it is. This is from Reddit, because I've had to dig and dig and dig and dig, right? Now, I don't know how much of this is true but it's from Reddit. But here's the one thing I will say right here. It looks like that we're not going to talk about that. Blah, blah, blah. Where's it at? Right here. All teams have 6 dates. Still a good chance the Dome gets it. Because remember, that's what everybody was talking about. Oh, everybody's got 6 home games. So that means that the championship's going to be here in St. Louis. Or did it really mean, now that you look back at it, just like Jersey said, each team has 6 home games. We're going to have 12. To me now, it's leading more towards the 12 to 14 teams. So you're going to have the 6 home games, which you'll have 3. So let's say they keep it as a 4-team division like they had it. You'll have your 3 home games against your division opponents, your 3 home games against your away opponents, your division opponents. So there's 6 games right there. And then you'll have two home games against interdivisional opponents. And then you'll have the rest of your games, away games, as interdivisional opponents. So you're talking, that looks to be like a 12-week schedule. So now, you asked me, the way it should go is you still start the week after February, after the Super Bowl. You play the first 6 weeks, and what happens within the first 6 weeks of the XFL season? There's something very, very big that happens. 6 weeks, basically 6 weeks after the XFL season starts. Does either one of you two know?
March Madness.
Ding, ding, ding. Circle gets the square. You do a bye week for the entire league, and then you do your last 6 weeks after that, which would put you somewhere around the end of May, first part of June. Season's done. Season's done. Then, if it's true, like it always has been, which everybody said we were nuts, Arlington. Remember that when we said way back in 2021, they're getting a partnership with the NFL. We already know the USFL does a partnership with the NFL.
We knew that.
So now, if you do it from February to June, that gives your players enough time to get into camps. Gives your guys enough time to recruit.
See, this is my problem with that, though. Exactly.
Yeah, Elizabeth, I get it. It's going to be hot as hell. That's why I don't think it should go past June.
No, it shouldn't even get to June.
Well,
should
if you're doing
be
12 teams, you're doing 12
Think about
teams,
it.
12 weeks.
Think about it with the NFL season. Do they have a stoppage during any week of the season? They play every single week until the end. They don't stop.
Except after the AFC and NFC championship and the Super Bowl. Now they play the Pro Bowl
because of the media day. Because of the media day. But they used
why
to
not
not
start
do
the
that.
season then?
Each team,
why not start the season
each
then?
Teams, exactly. Each teams do have bye weeks where they don't play at all.
No. But my thing is,
but it's not the whole league being off.
But this is a startup. Think about it. We saw what the ratings did when March Madness when we saw what what happened to the XFL when March Madness happened. It got destroyed.
Bad marketing. Yeah.
Well,
so
was
what they
it or
need
was
to
it
do is
TV
start
ratings?
this season, week of the Pro Bowl. Then the next week you have all your games early during the day. So by the time the Super Bowl happens Sunday night, everybody's ready for the Super Bowl and they don't watch all the NSFL games.
Right now here, so Aaron brings up a good point. Only concern becomes football burnout after 6 months of the NFL and 4 months of spring football. I don't watch the NFL, so I don't care. But some might. Okay, so that's the question. Because I will tell you this. By the time that I watched football, the NFL, then watched the XFL, ended in May, I watched 1 or 2 weeks of the USFL. I was already burnt out and then didn't start watching it until the championship. So let's say they do stick. I'm not saying they're going to because I don't know. Because they haven't said nothing. All we know is that they're merging. That's all we know is that they're merging. But let's look at it this way. If you go with the USFL start, it's going to be hot as hell in places like San Antonio, Vegas.
But they have a dome, so that's no work.
But Houston doesn't have a dome. It's hot as hell.
True.
Orlando don't have a dome. It's hot as hell.
And humid as hell.
Vegas don't have a dome. It's hot as hell. Look, can you imagine this fat white dude sitting out there in 120-degree weather at a football game? Birmingham doesn't have a dome. My fat booty sweating.
Memphis don't have a dome. Seattle don't have a dome.
Sweat.
I bet you Michigan will be in play. I bet you those Panthers.
Michigan will. Canton's hot. Canton's even hot in June. It'd be miserable. But guess what? My fat booty will be sitting out there watching football games.
So you literally would have to start the season a week before the Super Bowl during the Pro Bowl week. When March Madness is, in full effect, you take that, like you said, that bye week.
Boy, can you imagine? Elizabeth's right. Tailgating. Can you imagine tailgating? You're out there and you've been pounding the Beehawk Live beer or the Brahma beer in 100-degree weather. Then you go in the game, it's air conditioned. You
go right to sleep. You better have them big old fans out. You better have them big old swamp fans. You better have them swamp fans ready.
That's why I think May needs to be the end all be all. It's just before spring. I want that. I want David.
Yes. It's already been said. Rumors have already said that Canton is getting a team. Canton will be one of the 6
football. The Pro Football Hall of Fame's there, so why not?
Right.
And more likely, it's probably going to be the Houston Gamblers or the Pittsburgh Maulers from the USFL team that's moving.
I've heard it's going to be more likely the Maulers.
That's who I've been hearing too. It's going to be the Maulers because it's the closest team. Why not? Nobody in Pittsburgh is rooting for the damn Maulers. Who the hell is driving to Ohio?
But now look, if we're really right, August, Houston Championship in August. Whoo, that's going to be hot. But if you really look at what this does, this opens up the entire city or the entire U.S. for everything, for all of football again, right? Now, are we going to lose some teams? I hate to say it. We're probably going to lose maybe 2 to 4 teams. I don't want to say it, but it looks like it's going to happen.
Well, some are going to be necessary because for Houston's sake, you're not going to have 2 Houston teams in spring football with the seasons that how early that we're in spring football. Like it'd be different if it was 30, 40, 50 years down the road.
Ooh, I like this right here.
What's that?
First Saturday in June should be the championship.
Why?
Well, look, it would make sense. If, like Jersey was saying, you're doing the 6 home games, you're doing the 6 away games, right? Okay. That's 12 weeks. And I know you both are against the shutting down the week during the March Madness. I think it's smart for right now. I think
it would be
smart
intelligent.
for right now.
It will be a good marketing. It will be a good marketing strategy for the XFL or for the NSFL, if that's going to be the name, because then you give people a break. They get to go watch March Madness. You feel what I'm saying? Once March Madness is over, all right, it's back to football.
Now, I feel
Then
like
you
right
get that
here, Aaron,
audience back.
Hell
right,
no.
Yeah. No, hold on. Go back because I do want to talk about that. Go back to this one. And this is what I hope. This is what I hope, that they do divisions by region for the XFL. That's what I do hope. I do hope they do that, right? Because that would make it very, very good, right? Listen, if you're going to rebrand one of the Houston teams, you rebrand the Gamblers.
And not to Nashville, because that's stupid.
See, and
to have
Brian, you bring up a
Memphis
great
and
point.
a Nashville team.
Yeah, exactly. Move that Gamblers. You can move them to Nashville, or you can move them.
No,
well, Memphis already
to
has
Oakland.
a team.
Move them to Oakland.
No,
move
stop
them to the
it,
West
Jersey.
Coast.
Jersey,
you need
know
more
that
West Coast teams
Oakland.
in this spring league. You need
San
more
Diego
West
would be
Coast
perfect.
teams.
I would go to San Diego before I'd go to Oakland.
Either way, I'm just saying. Hell, you put a team in the Bay. Come on now, they're getting a WNBA team. Stop it.
Yeah, so I
They're
heard.
getting a
That is true.
WNBA
I
team.
heard that the Bay is getting one.
It's just like
Like
Las
right-
Vegas.
Like Brian
We're
says,
becoming
right
a
here.
sports team. The Bay Area has always been about sports. You got
That
the
is true.
Giants. You got how many hockey teams in that area? I'm just saying, you got so much sports in the Bay. That wouldn't be far-fetched. You had the Oakland Invaders.
I do like this one. Move the Vegas Vipers to Oakland just to thumb their nose at the NFL. I like that, but listen. If you do move the Vipers, and
Move
you
the
can't
Tempe.
find a move the tip. No, see, I'm still saying Reno, and you keep them the Reno Vipers.
No, or Nevada Vipers.
Nevada
The
Vipers.
Nevada Vipers, and I'll be for all that. I'll be for all that. That's an 8-hour drive, and
Or you
maybe
said
like
a $49
45
flight round trip.
45-minute flight, about $49 round trip. I'm good with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can keep the fan gang attack.
Absolutely.
Right.
Sign that petition, you guys. I put on the petition to keep the Vegas Vipers in Nevada.
We're trying. We're doing
So,
it. We
You
are.
guys make sure you go and sign that. Go check my Facebook page and sign that petition.
But here, like
Save
Brian
the
said,
Vegas
like,
Vipers.
so let's say they do. Now, again, this is just wide speculation, or is it? Let's say they do the 12-week season. They take that week off at March Madness. Advertise like hell during the March Madness.
Yep.
Advertise like hell.
Every commercial break on a March Madness game, you got
Mhm.
an NSFL advertisement.
Exactly.
NSFL's coming back next week. Don't forget don't miss the second half of the season. Yada yada yada. You know what I mean? And you just pump it. Even if the league was or the season were to go into, the NHL playoffs or, the start of the MLB season, it doesn't matter. Baseball's boring as hell to watch.
Until
All right,
now.
this is
now
Jersey.
comes the
This is
best.
Jersey the King. We want to thank Jersey the King from the Fang Gang Nation. But since he said baseball is boring as hell, I'm kicking his ass off the show.
Don't do that.
I love you, bro. I love you, bro.
I mean, but
here-
they're changing up the game now to
That
get
is
more
true.
people to watch baseball again.
right.
That's what I
You
mean
know
by
what Andrew
baseball's
says
boring
right
to
here?
watch.
When the teams get moved to the new league, do we get a rebranding jersey logos again? I don't think so. I do think some teams will get rebranded. Like I think that the Canton
Oh,
team.
wait. The
What?
USFL teams are going to get rebranded. Come on now. Under Armour?
No.
The Under Armour deal?
Oh well, they'll get a more updated version of their jersey.
That's more than likely what
Yeah.
he means by rebranding, not the logos. More than likely, none of the logos will get redid.
Well, I don't think
except
none
for
of the
maybe the
names will
Maulers.
change. Right. I don't think none. Yeah, the Maulers will change depending on where they go. Whichever Houston team decides to stay
Canton
will
Crush.
go. You know, they'll get changed or whatever. But I
That's
do
not a
think
bad
we will
name,
get-
A-Train.
Which
Canton.
one?
That was
The
from
Canton
David.
Crush.
Canton Crush. I like that name.
I do like that one. See, like
like
David
that.
says right here. David says right here, you do a West Division, Arizona Wranglers, formerly the Vegas Vipers,
Listen,
Arlington, Houston.
But don't bring back the
Gamblers,
Wranglers. Don't
Seattle.
bring back the Wranglers. Don't bring back the Wranglers. The Wranglers is
Arizona-
old.
Arizona's not going to get involved, man. I don't want to see a team in Arizona, man.
Listen, I
I don't
don't
either.
think
It's
you
hotter
take
than
away
Vegas.
Right. I don't think you take away the Texas Triangle.
I don't think that's leaving at all.
I
Now,
don't
Colin,
think it is
that's the
either.
good point right there is New Orleans staying. Now, New Orleans could be a team I could see being on the move and moving to Portland because USFL holds the Portland Breakers
Portland
trademark
Breakers.
from the old USFL.
Yep.
So I could see that happening, them moving
And then
there.
we're getting and filling up the West again because the West is some teams. If you
So,
really
I
want to
mean,
have
look,
South, North, West, East division, you're really going to have to move these teams around. Let's be
I do
honest. They're going to really have to move some of these
14
teams around.
divisions.
But see, that's the problem. The problem with that, the only way that works, it will have to have 16 team divisions to have your North, South, East, and West.
Exactly.
3 teams per division just don't really sit well.
No.
You know what I mean? You got to have at least 4 teams per division. So it would have to be.
And this is
16.
why I
Oh,
say, this
Here
is
you
why I
go. I
say,
forgot about that one. The USFL has
oh yeah, they have the
or
Outlaws.
the Outlaws. Forgot about that one.
They do. They do have the Outlaws trademark.
Sound like an arena team.
Well, hey, okay, let's go back to David's thing. How can you do 3 divisions with 4 teams? You can't.
You can't
Yeah, you can't.
correctly. It wouldn't work out numerically, schedule wise. It wouldn't work.
Actually, Brian, it's actually the insurance is cheaper in Arlington, in Texas, than it is in California.
hmm Yeah, that's what he's saying. If they're looking
yeah.
to save money, moving to California will be expensive due to insurance. Yeah, so but at the end of the day, they would wait on a team in California.
I need to really zoom in there because I
think-
can't read shit.
I think they would really wait to move a team to California. I think Portland would be a really good start as far as moving the New Orleans Breakers to Portland to build the West up again. But I don't think they're going to be looking to move teams to California yet until they can afford to. And
To
I think
David's
that's the main
point-
issue.
I don't like
David's
that.
point, Houston would be more centralized than San Antonio. San Antonio's more west.
Right, yeah.
hmm
It
It
would make
wouldn't-
perfect sense to move California because the market is major. San Diego wants football back. I get
As a
it.
matter of
I
fact,
get it.
Dallas would be closer than freaking San Antonio or Houston.
I mean, look, in Ball Hawk 1 right here says that Reno could reach as far as San Francisco. I don't think you're going to see it in Salt Lake. I don't think you'll see it in Salt Lake.
I don't either.
What
I
happened
don't
with
either.
the Stallions in the AAF? No, it's all good.
Omaha, Nebraska has a better chance than Salt Lake.
Des Moines,
But that
Iowa
would be a
has
good
better
market.
But hold
than
on.
Salt
Omaha, Nebraska would be a great market.
Right. Andy, I get the 3-4 team divisions, but you got to remember, they're saying they're doing 6 home games is what
And
they're
6
doing,
away games.
and 6 away games. I get it.
But I
I
still
mean,
think they're
rumor
going to.
is they're having the 14 teams.
I still think that
Ooh.
they're going to wait to do all this till next year. This is what I honestly think is going to happen this season. They're going to play out their seasons, and they're going to have one home game against a USFL team and against an XFL team, and one away game against a USFL team and against or vice versa. And then they play out their playoffs, And the XFL champion plays the USFL champion, and they crown the inaugural NSFL champion. And then that gives them time to really set up everything that they want to do with this complete merge. It's basically them doing an NFL, AFL type of style and then merging like the NFL and the AFL did in 1970. They came to agreement in 1966 and then played their 4 seasons out. You know what I mean?
For that to work, they would have to play at the same period. So that means the USFL would have to play in February and not in April.
That's what they're planning on doing.
Okay.
Trust me.
Then
Trust me. The
that
schedule's
works
going
out.
to change for the USFL teams. That's guaranteed. We all got to know that. We all got to sit back and just take that in now.
Let's look at this. Okay, so let's look at it. Because as I'm doing it in my head, I understand why everybody is saying the 3-4 team divisions. Okay, so that gives you 12 teams. But so then, how do you do your playoff format?
Exactly.
How would you do your playoff format if you're doing just 3 divisions with 4 teams?
You have to do like a college football style,
like what baseball would do.
Would you? Okay, but then so you have each one of your divisional winners. Okay.
This is how if they did it that way. Currently, what baseball does right now, they have 15 teams in each league. 5 per teams. Wait, let me talk. 5 per division, right? So the top 3 teams are going to win their divisions, right? But the top two are going to get buys. And then whoever's in third will play the 6th best team, and then the 4th team will play the 5th best team.
But now remember, Andy, this is what everybody complained about with that is that, oh, the wild cards, it should be the top teams with the best records playing. Remember, everybody threw a fit that the eventual XFL champions, the Arlington Renahawks, were a losing team, but they won the championship.
Still can happen. It won't matter.
You're right. It does. So that's why I'm saying if you do a 4-division team, a 4-division league, okay?
But you'll only have 3 teams in each division.
No, you would have 4. You would have to keep
That would force them to keep 16. Exactly. That would force them to keep 16 teams.
You're trying to get to 16 teams. That's what. Okay.
Yeah, Andy, I get it. I get that they did it in 83. I get it. I listen. As you did the math and as I looked at it, I'm okay with doing 3 divisions with 4 teams. I get it. My only thing is the 10 games. I think because each team has the 6 home games and the 6 away games that the XFL reported it earlier this year. I think you need to add those extra teams. I don't want them to lose any teams. If you do 10 games, then that means we're only having 10 teams.
That means we're losing. They play each other one time. Yep.
Yep. Then we're losing 6
means
teams.
Each team is playing each other once.
Correct.
That would suck so bad. That would be horrible. Because then it's like, okay, this is what we waited for. Literally, this is what we waited for.
According to what Andy was talking about, even though they played 18 games in their season, they had 4 playoff teams, 3 division winners, and then whoever was who had the 4th best record. Whoever had the best record out of the division, out of each from the rest of the teams. And so in this case, it was 2 Central teams, and then a Pacific team, and an Atlantic team.
Right. No,
so
Aaron.
I see what he's saying.
I see it. I see it completely. Aaron, they said 6 home games. They never said it was secured a playoff game. That's just what everybody assumed. That's what everybody assumed. That's it. That's all it was. Now, my connection at the Dome.
Gonna have interleague games.
Yeah, my connection at the Dome said that the Battlehawks had 6 home games secured with a 7th game for a possible championship. That's what my connection at the Dome. So, Yeah, you're right. I'm not saying. I'm just telling you what my source said. I'm just telling you what my source said. I mean, I get. Look, there's going to be a lot of stuff. Andy, I get that you don't think that we need the 12 games, depending on, and I get that some teams won't be. Aaron, I'm not saying you're not a reporter. I'm just clarifying you why we keep saying the 6 home games. That's the only reason why, bro. And thank you for showing up. Look, I'm not saying I would want every single team to play each other. I don't want to lose a team. I don't want to lose any teams at all. I want us to keep as many teams as possible. I don't want people to lose their jobs. I don't want coaches to lose their jobs. Nothing like that. I want as many teams as possible. The most I would be willing to lose would be 2 teams. That would be it.
I don't even think we're losing 2 teams. I don't think we're losing any teams. I think the most we will lose is 2, honestly. The most we would lose is 2. And right now, it would be, sadly, the Vipers and the Gamblers. Sadly, that's what I'm thinking.
Man,
but
it does, okay.
I don't think that you got to look at it like this. They've been working on this for a long time.
I like this.
Exactly. But that's what I keep saying.
This right here.
That's what I keep saying. They're rushing this to start this upcoming season. So you have to think they're gonna go NFL, AFL style. The XFL conference plays their league out, the USFL conference plays their league out. They play one home game against each other, one away game against each other, or one home game against a XFL team for the USFL, vice versa. You know what I mean? They not saying that every USFL team and every XFL team is going to play each other. They'll just be at random. Hey, this season, just to try this out, we're going to have the Arlington Renegades play the Birmingham Stallions, and it's going to be a home game for Birmingham. But we're also going to have the New Jersey Generals play, the Seattle Sea Dragons, and it's going to be a home game for Seattle. You get what I'm saying? And then they have their playoffs. Whoever wins in the XFL and wins the XFL championship, and whoever wins the USFL championship plays each other for the inaugural NSFL championship. That way it gives them a time to go into next season making a longer schedule, more games, where you have more interleague games and you have interdivision games within the conference. You have XFL conference games, of course, where the XFL teams are playing each other. You have USFL conference games where USFL teams are playing each other, and then you have interleague games, interconference games, however you want to call it.
That's why I wouldn't mind having XFL and USFL like as the divisions. That's what I mean.
That's would be the conference. You would have XFL conference, North, South, East, West division. You have the USFL.
You don't even need to do all of that.
No, you keep it the way you have it.
You don't even need to do all of that, dude.
You keep the West.
You need 6 USFL teams.
Oh, I'm tripping. I'm thinking of 32.
We ain't even got to.
I'm going way too far.
I ain't doing geographic.
That's what I meant. XFL North and South, USFL North and South. Whoever is the top 2 teams.
I wouldn't even do that. That's it. But I wouldn't even throw in a North and a South.
Look, here's the thing. We could honestly say this. Right now, we're just.
I get what you're saying.
See what I'm saying now?
I get what you're saying.
Even need all of that.
Conference, the XFL conference. You either got the East and the South in the USFL conference, and then the North and the West. I get what you're saying.
Stop using the geography. Because we're not using it.
But you have to. You have to.
You don't really. You don't really have to. You don't really have to.
You could do 16 USFL and 6 teams XFL. That is your XFL group, and then you have your USFL group.
But you're taking away 4 teams. We're talking about keeping it at 16 teams right now.
Oh, if you want to do 16, then you have to do divisions. But I'm talking about 12.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. They're gonna play this upcoming season out. Listen to what I'm telling you. They're gonna play this season out to where the XFL is going to play out their season. And like I said, they're going to have these interconference games. It's going to be one home game and one away game. And then they're going to have the XFL champion play the USFL champion. And that's going to crown your inaugural national Spring League champion, National Spring
So you,
Football League champion. That way, in 2025, they can give us a long ass schedule.
Right.
Right. So you're basically saying that the USFL needs to start early, around the same time that the XFL does, so that way we can get our
Yes,
inaugural champion. Okay.
Well, listen,
yes,
if you're gonna do the
because that's
merger,
the
you're
only
gonna
way
have
to
to.
merge.
I got
That's the only
No,
way to
look,
do it
right
with
here,
the,
though.
and have a proper merge.
Look, hold on. Andrew brings up a good point. Geographically, is going to come in play just for money purposes, most likely. Yeah. And Andy, you're right. It might not happen. It might not happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Here's what we do know. As of September 28th of 2023, that the XFL and the USFL is now going to be called the National Spring
You don't know
Football
that.
League.
Stop saying that. Stop saying
Yes,
that.
we
Do
do.
you want me to pull
Come
up
on,
the press
the
release that you
writing
posted
is
on our
in
page?
the wall.
Okay, let's say that. The writing's on the wall.
The
We can say
writing's
the
on the
writing's on the
wall.
wall. That's fine.
Come on
But
now,
until,
A-Train. Come on now, A-Train.
until an official announcement has been made, wink,
Watch
wink,
the new logo come
that's
out
where
next
we're
week.
going.
Watch
You
the
gotta
new
Watch
logo.
the new logo
Wait,
come
yeah,
out next
Jersey.
week.
Watch the new logo come out next Tuesday.
And we're gonna be looking at
after
all
we
this
do
and
our
like,
show. Yeah.
Mhm, told you.
I'm gonna look at Reed Johnson.
You're right. Yeah.
I'm telling you, watch. National Spring Football League. NFL, you got the National Football League and the National Spring Football League.
And but that was the other thing. Remember that? Remember we talked about this last thing that Andrew just said. We talked about that. What were we going to do? Guess what? You're going to have to stay tuned just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Here's
That's
what
how
we
you
do know. Here's what we do know. January 13th, R&R Sports Bar and Grill. A big event, the Spring Fan Legion. Arlington, Spring Fan
Are we doing that already?
Legion
Hey.
is doing a big fan. We're doing another big fan event at
You start stuff already, sir. I don't like when
He
you
is.
do that.
He is.
We will be doing another big event January 13th, R&R Sports Bar and Grill right there in Houston, Texas, to help raise money for the Houston area women's shelter. More details will be coming in soon about it, so just stay tuned. But yes, the Spring Fan Legion will be doing another big show on July 13th. And you guys get to see that guy right there. He will be the host of the MC. Yes, and thank you to the Roughneck fans for hosting this. That falls on a Saturday, Brian. That falls on a Saturday. That guy right there.
Not me.
That guy. And listen, if you guys want to start donating, we need silent auction stuff like that. If you want to start donating, yes, Colin, whether you believe it or not, you little butthead, you're going to be the MC too because you're.
Wait a minute. What is going on? What's happening there?
Doesn't he do the
Hold
Ruffle
on, what did
podcast
Gabe
with
say?
you?
What did Gabe say?
Right here. I don't expect them to keep the USFL and the XFL conferences or division games. If you are going to merge into a new league, then the conferences should have fresh names as well, in my opinion. Otherwise, you're just holding on to what we were moving on from. I agree with that. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen at all. David, no, stop it. I love David, but David's
going to find out a way to make the
Texas triangle. The Texas triangle.
What's going on here? Why is Houston not even in that? I'm just saying this is not going to happen.
Texas,
wait, no. How y'all gonna sit there and say that when y'all been talking about that the Houston Gamblers are going to remain in this particular picture?
Yeah.
Sir, don't put that dirty speculation on me.
All right, look.
Whoa. Stop the clock we wanted to take. I never said the Gamblers were going to be there.
Okay. Who's it? Our partner in crime?
It was
Was
somebody
it our
in the
partner in
comments.
crime? The ref? Was it the ref that said that?
The ref said it.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, I would never
X
say
versus
anything to that.
us. The X versus us. I like it.
Yeah.
X versus us.
I like that.
I love it.
I
I
Love
like
that.
that.
Love it.
I like it. I like it a
Love
lot.
that.
Hey, and as a matter of
Love
fact,
that.
oh my
I
God,
do.
you've been hanging with Dirty too much, Jersey.
Wait, we are not hell to the no. We are not. Y'all gonna stop trying to play my Vipers. We're not going to Arizona. We're going to Reno. Okay? Y'all gonna stop trying to play my damn Vipers, calling them somebody's Wranglers or Outlaws or Rattlesnakes. No, we're Vipers, and we all bought it.
Jersey,
Stop it.
Jersey.
Brian, you please tell me where you're hearing that. Where you hearing that from? Because I have not heard that from the
At
source
all.
within the league that I have.
I haven't
That
heard
might
that
be
either.
actually.
Hey, sir.
People are going to be here. I'll give you this about Orlando.
And that hasn't even been speculated on the Neon Green Mafia show, Brian. So where's this
Corey
coming from,
Helvey.
buddy?
Corey Helvey might be the best ticket director that the XFL has. That dude is out there hustling and stuff. So yeah, I don't be surprised.
It's
about
it's an
Orlando.
8-hour drive, about a 45-minute flight, Andy. 8-hour drive, 45-minute flight. We do not have problems buying a $49 round trip ticket. Listen, I will bring a whole plane full of people. Okay? Don't play with me.
I
The Vipers are here to stay.
I can go DoorDash that in an hour. 49 round trip ticket to,
Let's get it.
to Reno.
Let's go. And we'll
Right,
be having
yeah.
some fun. Because I'm telling you, the Viper Pit is going to be lit. It's not
Right,
going nowhere.
Exactly.
Just believe me
Exactly.
when I tell you.
Oh man,
Reno's going to be
now,
perfectly
boys.
fine. Reno's
I'm in
going to be
trouble
perfectly
now.
Time to go,
fine.
y'all.
And then
It's time to go.
another thing that's good for Reno is it gets cold.
Oh, I just got punched. But right here, I do like this. And literally, guys, that's what this show is always about. Yes, this show is always about you guys. You guys have literally dictated what we've talked about for the last hour and a half. You guys have literally talked about what we are going to done, what we have done for the last hour and a half. So this show is about you guys. You know, I know it's me and Arlington that we do this show twice a week or whatever. But to be honest, this really isn't our show. And Arlington will vouch for me.
Our safe space.
This is our safe space. This is not our show. This is your guys' show.
This is a safe space.
This is
And I'm
the
blessed to
fans'
be a part of the
show. This is about you guys. And this is not about us. So without you guys tuning in every single week, Jersey might have been the MVP of today. Well, Aaron, I was starting to like you just
Thank
a
you,
little
Aaron.
bit. Just a
That's
little
my
bit.
guy. Thank you, Aaron.
Just a little bit.
Hey, announcement for you guys.
Okay.
I'm going to be having Jeff Badette, Vegas Vipers wide receiver, on the show next week.
Oh,
Nation show. So
Sweet.
Good
Fang Gang Nation,
for
baby.
you.
we finally got us a member of the Fang Gang to actually come on to the Fang
Hey,
Gang
you
Nation
need to
show,
have
guys.
the
So
you need to have the Hyena Grinch on with you because that was her favorite player. She had him in fantasy and he helped win her the championship. All right, I gotta
Let's go.
go. I'm getting
Fang Gang.
strangled. This is
we all bite, baby.
Thanks, Jersey. Thanks, Jersey.
Thank you
Coming
guys
on,
for
baby.
having me.
Show. Jersey, plug the
Us-
show.
Make sure
Plug
you
the
guys
show,
check out
Jersey.
the Fang Gang Nation show Tuesdays and Thursdays on YouTube and Facebook at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on my Facebook at Jersey the King. Make sure you guys tune into the Gridiron as well, the Gridiron podcast with myself and my co-host Gabe Garcia, Double GOG. He will be coming with the Arlington Renegade show as well, so you guys get ready for that. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for having me. I love you guys. Thank you to the X-Fan Legion, or should I say the Spring Fan Legion. And you guys tune in. Peace out.
There you go. There it is. Arlington, bro, I love you, but I gotta go.
Me too, man. I got to get out
All
of here.
right, guys, thank you guys for joining us today on our emergency show where fantasy has now become reality. David, I hope you can finally accept your reality. But that's okay. Keep doubling down, bro, because we love you. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.